My name is Darlene. Welcome to Stand Strong, a fun, educational, inspirational, and motivational show about people overcoming life's obstacles.
Hello, welcome to Stand Strong. I'm your host, Darlene Luff, and I'm really looking forward to today's show and sharing our guest with you. I have along with me my dear friend and co-host, Melissa. And if you would, today's show we're going to be talking about alternative healing in different ways to use different types of medicine other than the traditional form. And today's slippers that I am wearing are that have to do with healing of the brain, and I'm wearing them in honor of our guest. As I said, today's show we're going to be talking about alternative ways. You know, when you were younger, we were all younger, and we had grandmothers. Our grandmothers would use different methods of healing, such as the old Italian grandmothers would use, if you had a cut, they'd bring out the wine and the sugar, and they would clean your wounds and woes with the wine and then pack it with sugar. That was their alternative way, so you wouldn't get stitches. Another old-fashioned type of remedy that our grandmothers would use would be warming up milk. It was their thing that if you had a warm cup of hot milk before you went to bed, it would cure insomnia. So I'm really looking forward to today's show to talk about different types of old-fashioned remedies and such that will heal the brain. And I would, at this time, like to welcome our guest, Dr. Ann Kelty. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Darlene, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be on your show today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And hello, Melissa.
Hello, everyone. I would like to, if you don't mind me correcting you on one thing, it's actually Dr. Ann Kelty.
You know,
and that's okay, but, Darlene and I are used to this, so.
Well, excuse me. I practiced it, and I said guilty. So, I really did it. Hey, power to me for, I'm going to cheer to that because I did the best I could. Pardon me, Ann.
Cheers. Dr. Ann is just fine.
Dr. Ann. Okay, I said Dr. Ann. Thank you. Could you tell our viewers a little bit about, tell them a little bit about yourself first, and then what you do. What your field is.
Okay, thank you. I grew up in Winthrop in East Boston, and I went to the UMass Boston, and I have my undergraduate degree in geography with a 3-year concentration in electrical engineering. I thought I was going to school to build robots, but
wow.
But karma changed, and instead of working with silicon-based computers and robots, I am now working with carbon-based life forms, which has been tremendous. When I graduated from UMass Boston, I met a good friend of mine, Steve. He's a Native American medicine man, and he kind of took me under wing for a couple of years and started bringing me back into my spiritual self. And it all progressed from there. He suggested at one point that it was time to go to school. And I said, what for? And he says, anything you want. And I looked at him and I said, Steve, I know better. Where are we going? And we explored for a few months and I ended up going out to Portland, Oregon to study naturopathic medicine at the National College of Natural Medicine in Portland, Oregon.
Wow, that's very impressive. Did you receive a degree? Did you get a degree in what you were going to school for?
I did. It's a 4-year medical degree. It's a degree of natural medicine, naturopathic medicine. And what that encompasses is, you may have heard of different parts of it. We study the same basic sciences that a medical doctor will study. And then we have to be board certified from that level. And then we go on to our clinicals. And our clinicals, we study botanical medicines, or herbs, nutrition, homeopathy, Chinese medicine, manipulation, physical and physiotherapy, hydrotherapy, which is an ancient form of healing, very ancient, using water and poultices and things like that.
That's
Very,
amazing.
very
And that's
cool.
part of the degree program.
Wow.
I also studied, in the Chinese medicine program, I also studied Qigong. It was a 4-year medical Qigong program where we went away every quarter for a weekend to learn how to work with healing through the old forms of Chinese medicine.
And may I ask you, what is
Qigong. Qigong is the active form. It's an active form of meditation where you combine stillness and activity. So, for instance, for focusing the brain, you're looking at the lagong, which is the center point, and you inhale, and then you look at the other one and exhale. Inhale
Well, wait.
and exhale. Flip, inhale,
Oh, see, I'm not coordinated. I can't. I gotta get.
and exhale. But it's all, you'll get coordinated over time, and then you will stop and allow the energies to settle, and then you start on the other side. And what you're doing is you're working each hemisphere of the brain to help it come into balance.
That's amazing. Now, do you own your own? Do you have patients? Do you own your own shop? Or office? You know.
I do. I have my own office. My office is in Winthrop, Massachusetts. The name of my business is Rooted in Well-Being. Like the trees that get rooted. I wanted something that was going to encompass the earth as well as the leaves and the branches reaching up to the heavens. And so in Chinese medicine, we are between heaven and earth. And that's who we are.
That's amazing.
So I do see patients in my private practice in Winthrop.
That's amazing. Now, what type of situations would patients go see you for? You know, anxiety or trauma, you know, such as life situation, things like that. I mean, what type of patients do you see?
In natural medicine, we're trained as general practitioners, so we can see a whole host and variety of ailments. In Massachusetts, it's an unlicensed state, so we have some restrictions, but not a lot. We're able to practice our medicine as we can. I see a lot of people with digestive disorders, anxiety, depression, people who are trying to make changes in their life, but they don't know quite how to get there. They need the help and support to say, where am I going? I said, well, what are your goals? Where do you want to go? Well, I want to do this, but I don't know how to get there. I think I want to do this. And that's where I work with them on the spiritual part. Or spiritual may be a misnomer, because what it is, it's your inner knowing. It's your inner guide. Sometimes people think spirituality is something that's outside of them. I think of spirituality as something that's inside of each of us. You know, you have that gut feeling sometimes. You know something just happened. You don't know what. That's your gut. That's your inner knowing. That's your spirituality. It's not anything outside of us.
Now, I know, I know of myself. I'm not sure if you do. I usually get a lot of those gut kind of feelings, and the problem is with me, I second guess myself on that. Are you a true believer in that? If you get that specific unknown kind of feeling, that you really
Yes.
should follow it?
Yes, I definitely believe that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Like, for instance, today I decided I wanted to go over to a certain restaurant in Salem and sit down and have a nice little lunch. And I didn't quite know why, but I knew there was something going to happen. Somebody I knew from a long time ago walked in and said, Dr. Ann, how are you?
Oh, wow, that's
Look
fabulous.
at that. Look at that.
You know? And
That's amazing.
I do follow my inner guidance
Yeah.
because it saves me all the time. It has saved my life, literally, many times over.
That's amazing.
That's fabulous. That is.
definitely.
And that's what I help people to do. I have it in me, and I can have that trust and faith, and hold that space for you as you find that trust and faith within yourself.
Stand Strong is a fun, inspirational, motivational show.
Yeah.
About people overcoming life's obstacles. How did you get into this line of work? Was there a specific something that had happened to you in your life that you've overcome and you wanted to help others?
Wow. That's a big question. I've had this gift of knowing, of healing, of being able to see things that I don't know how to describe since I was a child. And that kind of got me in trouble because my father had a very heavy hand, and he would go do something and wouldn't tell anybody, but I would see through it. And I would say, "So, how did this go today?" And he'd just look at me and he'd go, whack. And I was like, oh. And of course, at 3 years old, you don't know. And then as we progressed, I went to school and I said, "Oh, well, I learned about this." And he's like, "Oh, no, your teachers are wrong." So I had a lot of difficulty growing up. From that point, he would be telling me that what was right was wrong and what was wrong. So when I got up in my later years of school, I had difficulty trying to figure out, well, if this is right, well, if that's wrong. So I had a really hard time trying to debate things. I'm coming over that.
Good for you. I'll cheer to that, coming
Cheers.
over that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We have to.
Cheers.
And
That's an amazing thing to overcome.
Thank you. And when I was in medical school, we took a class in massage. And I was taking we were going into the last part. We were going on to the thighs. And all of a sudden, I'm laying in class and I just freaked out. I had no idea what was happening at all. Just finishing my first year of medical school, I remembered that I had been raped.
Oh my goodness.
As a child?
No, not as a child. I had been gang raped. I had been pulled into an empty apartment and 3 guys raped me. I had somebody break into my apartment several years later. And then I went on a date and got raped there.
Oh my goodness.
And all that was blocked until that moment?
And all of that was blocked. And I searched I was in Portland, Oregon, and I searched for a support group. And I found one support group. One person showed up.
Wow.
And that person had lost their life. I thought I had lost my life. But the way I saw this person, they couldn't do anything. Their whole life was given over because they had been incestly raped.
How did you overcome it? How did you get beyond that to say, I'm not letting this control my life and take over my life. I'm going to make something and hopefully be able to help other people overcome that. How did you overcome? What steps did you take? And how long did it take you to overcome that?
Well, I was always a student. I was always very studious. And I think that was my release, my retreat, my safety zone, was to study. And especially the maths and sciences, because there's a formula, there's an answer. Very cut and dry. Creative writing, art, I wanted nothing to do with it because that was giving away my soul. That was giving away something that somebody could criticize. So today, I have a safe place. I have a very safe space. And now I am able to step out and really do my work. And now I'm bringing it forward so that I can help men and women who are going through any adversities, because I've reached the depth of adversity.
Right. And you're ready now you're at like you said, at a good place to share all that.
Yes, I am.
And help. But you don't just work with adults, though. You also work with children, don't you?
I do some work with younger people, younger adults.
Maybe
younger
not necessarily on this level, but for other things in your practice.
I do. I do work with people who have had traumas, and what I'm working on now, one of my missions is to make sure that everybody knows about head injuries and how dangerous they are to people. We get kids going to school, elementary, junior high, high school kids, college, and professional level athletes who are getting hit head injuries, and
Lifelong.
you don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you don't know what's happening. They get hit, and they get off the team for a couple of weeks because they have to, shake it off.
Right.
And where do they go? They go to the medical doctor. They go to the chiropractor. They go to the physical therapist, and then they think that's it, and they stay off the computers for a couple of days. There's a whole nother level of healing, and that's going into the brain. Now, what happens is when you're out 6 weeks, 2, 3, 4 months, a year out, the kid may come back and have some problems with insomnia, have some anger issues. All of a sudden, you're noticing Johnny's not finishing his schoolwork the way he was. He was an A student. Now he sees what's going on. Is he getting in with the wrong crowd?
Or is there something else going on
Yeah.
that is related to the injury that he previously sustained?
Yeah. And depends on where on the brain the injury is. Is it going to be a balance issue? Is it going to be a cognitive issue? Is it going to be a memory issue? Is it going to be recall? What is the problem? Depends on where in the brain. So what natural medicine can offer this, we offer botanical medicines. Now, when you get a head injury, what happens? You get inflammation, and the flow of blood stops. Not stops, but is stunted because of the inflammation and the swelling.
Okay.
Botanical medicines actually come in and will help to reduce the swelling and get the blood flowing. Now, if you're having a swelling of the brain, you're having inflammation, what else is happening? Your neurological system is off. The neurotransmitters can't send and receive as they were. The hormones are off. All of a sudden, Johnny's angry. Sally's all over the place. She's crying at the drop of a hat just because you said, get me a dish. Right?
Right. Right.
When do we think that it's gone back to the head injury? We never do. This is something that we need to be aware of.
Very
That's
interesting.
amazing, yeah.
Very interesting.
It definitely is.
And you're finding success
Yes.
in what you are doing, going back to the ways of almost old medicine, and you're finding that success. It's
Old medicine we've had
Is
old
new
medicine.
medicine.
Yeah.
It's resurgent.
Yeah.
It's the renaissance of
it is
It's the medicine renaissance.
It is. I love it.
Are there any side effects that people have concerns about to alternative medicines? That are there, because it's definitely different. But are there any like the different symptoms, like head trauma? If someone were to take medication, the modern medication, we all know there's side effects to
Correct.
that.
Yes.
Are there any concerns or side effects to the natural forms
Homeopathic
of
way.
Yeah.
The naturopathic way.
Yeah.
There's always a chance of some side effects. However, I work on one of the first dictates of my medicine is first do no harm,
Correct.
and doctor is teacher. So I'm
Excellent.
always
Correct.
teaching somebody.
Correct.
What we want to look at is vitamins and minerals are usually pretty okay because vitamins and minerals will get in and do the work. You may people say, well, vitamins, but they are the foundation of your body. Vitamins and minerals. Don't forget that.
Right.
So what we want to do is if we're going to use any herbs, we want to make sure that there's no interaction with any medications that you're currently on.
Correct.
This is what we need to do.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, natural medicine actually helps with a lot of side effects
From the medicine that you're getting from the
from other
traditional.
sources.
Yes.
That's amazing. I don't know if you're aware, but I'm a cancer survivor, and I was wondering, have you ever had anyone on? I had stage 3B breast cancer, and I also carried the gene, but I beat it.
Good for you.
Stand strong. Yay!
Yay!
Cheers.
Strong lady.
Cheers.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, cheers
I'm gonna
that
need
too.
more water soon. Anyways, have you ever had anyone come to you that has had an illness such as cancer or some other type of illness, Parkinson's or anything like that? And has it, if you have, has it helped?
It does. I'm going to go back to the head injuries, because what they're finding now in research is actually that head injuries are being found to be caused partly of dementia and Alzheimer's disease.
Oh, yeah.
That being said, I'm not going to cure cancer. However, what side effects do you get from the cancer and
Exactly.
the medications? When you get a diagnosis, whether it's cancer, whether it's heart disease or anything else, what happens? You go into shock, you go into depression, you're stressed out, you have anxiety, your stomach goes off, and now you're going on medications. What happens?
All that.
Anxiety.
Everything goes
All
to
the same
double
stuff.
fold. Yeah.
It all
yeah,
happens.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cure your disease. Sometimes we can, but that's not my thing right now. My thing is to help you overcome some of these other adversities.
I didn't mean that you cure.
No, I understand.
But you know, I think it would be nice for our viewers at home or anyone that has gone through either cancer or any other type of illness that there are alternative ways to at least help them cope and get through
Absolutely.
in a
Yes.
more comfortable, more natural way in
Yes.
what you do.
You know, one of my favorite, I like to use simple medicines, and one of my favorite medicines is flower essences. Have you heard of flower essences?
No.
I have.
You have, haven't you?
I have, and that's partly because I've known you for quite some time now, and you've already introduced me to that.
Flower essences go back to the early 1900s. Dr. Bach was an herbalist, and he looked at the dew on the flower one day, and he's looking at it, and he says, that dew has to be medicine. The flower's medicine, the stem is medicine, the roots are medicine. That dew has to be. After he researched it, he found out it was.
That's amazing. And what is it used for?
They're used for mental, emotional, and spiritual healing. They're very gentle, but they're very effective.
Is it a scent or something you take?
It's actually, they take a crystal bowl and put it in the garden where the flowers are. They take the flowers when they're at their bloom and float it on the water in the crystal bowl. And they leave it there for several hours and allow the sun to transmit the energy of the flower, the vibration, into the water. That water is poured off and made into medicine.
Oh, very nice.
So all you do is you need to take a couple of drops and put it in your water and sip it throughout the day. You sip it 3, 4, 5 times, and you start to get a nice calming. I actually make animals for products for animals as well.
Animals.
Yes,
Animals are
you
fun.
do. And
That's
actually, when you and I had met, I have an older dog, and she's still a little high-strung, but not as high-strung as she used to be. And you had given me, I believe it was the flower essence.
Oh, it might have been.
I believe it was. And told me to spray it inside the dog's bowl, you know, what they drink. And I did that, and she's still hyper, but she's not as hyper as she used to be. So absolutely it works. I mean, they don't notice a difference.
They don't know.
They don't know that they're taking something. They don't know that there's something different in the water, but I notice the difference. So that does work. It's pretty cool.
I'm going to have to try that.
Yeah.
I think I might like that.
Yeah,
It's
it's
awesome.
very
And
cool.
what I
Yeah.
do now is I have a little thing I do at my office is that after somebody has a treatment, we'll do a flower essence reading.
Nice.
And I have a bag of flower essences, and you pick 2 or 3 essences. I'll pick 1 or 2 essences, and we'll read the book as to what the essences do, and then we'll make a remedy for you to take home.
Oh,
Very
that's
cool.
And people
fabulous.
say that if they feel light and more energetic and really more centered as well.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I
now,
believe that.
We do have contact information, correct? Your
Yes.
email address and
Yeah, you do.
contact information?
Absolutely.
That should be shown up on the screen. For those of you who would be interested in learning more about Dr. Ann, you can contact her on, there it is up on the screen. You can contact her and learn more about what she has to offer. And at this time, I would like to present you with a gift for being on our show. We're very grateful that you joined us today.
I'm grateful
So
that you had me.
I would like to give you a T-shirt with our logo on it. If you could see that.
Stand strong.
Stand strong. and this is a little appreciation to say thank you for joining us and thank you for
Thank you.
allowing us to share with the viewers what you do and your story. And do you have anything else you would like to add?
No, I was just whispering, and I got to remember that I'm wearing a mic, so even if I whisper, everybody's hearing what I say. So there's no sense in me whispering, because Ann had taken the shirt and actually put it up against the mic, and this is only our second show, but I know that that's a no-no. So no, that's pretty much all I'd want to share. And, you know, I'm just thrilled that I've known Ann now for a couple of years now, and, you know, we've been kind of intertwined into each other's lives when we needed to be. And when Darlene said she wanted to do this kind of a show and asked me to come on board, Ann was one of the first people I could think of that I would love to bring, because I believe in all this stuff. And I believe it works, and this medicine works. And if you heal from the inside, you can heal the outside, and you can heal others. It's an amazing thing. And I know I'm absolutely tickled pink. I can't wait to see the show myself, because I think you kind of lose it when you're up here. You don't hear it all until you see it afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and but no, that's all. I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. It is a pleasure, and thank you for sharing your stories and your story and your journey with us, because I think it's going to help a lot of people, and to know that there's alternative ways to heal oneself from the inside. I wish I would have met you before when I was going through my aggressive cancer treatments, but I'm very blessed to have met you now, and I will definitely want to check out. I'll have to come into your office as a patient. I'm going to be a patient, hello. But it is with great pleasure that we had you on the show. Thank you for signing our guest book.
Thank you.
And we will we have a guest book that we do have today with us, and each guest will be signing the guest book and leaving a little quote, and we will be having pictures in the guest book. And on our yearly anniversary, Melissa and I will be sharing the guest book with all of you, so that you could see from where we started to where we end up, and our full journey will be in this book. And thank you very much for signing it. And we will send you the pictures too, as well, as soon as we have them. So
Yes.
absolutely, without a doubt. And I really hope you like the slippers that we wore.
Absolutely
in
love
honor
them.
for you. And it's kind of funny, because I didn't know that the flyer had a brain on it. So when I chose these slippers, it just actually worked out. I was like, wow, neat. So that was a kind of a neat thing.
Yes.
I'm very glad that you joined us. And again, thank you. I'd like to thank our guest, Ann, Dr. Ann, for joining us today. I would also like to thank my dear friend and co-host, Melissa, for joining us today. It is with much love and much respect that you joined us today. We're very grateful. And we would like to say, as always, remember to always stand strong. Melissa, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us. Till next time, thank you.